it's still rolling. 6.
3.
Hello, everybody. My name's Aaron.
And I'm Jose.
And we're the Board Game Brothers. And on this episode of the ABCs of Board Gaming, we're going to be talking about Clank.
Yeah.
So Clank, it's like a dungeon crawl deck building game, right? Yeah. Basically you have you're building your deck. You start with 10 cards, is that right?
Everyone starts with the same 10 cards.
And there's cards that you can buy, add to your deck building. You know how deck building works. But the cool thing about this is it's not just a regular deck building game. You still have your little figures and a board that you're going into a dungeon to try to get into the lair and get the dragon's treasure. I forgot what they're called actually, like the big ones, the big treasures.
I want to say artifacts, but I think there's a different word. But
either way, yeah. So there's like different point artifacts that you can get. There's little mini treasures you can get along the way. You can get gold, and with the gold you can buy different effects. Because going down to the lair of the dragon's lair and all the stuff you can go, there's like locked doors, so you can buy a key that lets you go through the locked doors. There's ice caves that stop your movement. You can buy a backpack which lets you hold a second artifact, because normally you can only hold one artifact. But the whole time that you're going down there, you're playing cards that have a Clank on them. And when you play a Clank card, you have to add a cube to the board. And if a card shows up that has a dragon attack symbol, you take all the cubes that have been added to the board, put into a bag, and you draw them, depending on how long,
noisy you've been.
Yeah. And for every cube of your color drawn, you take a damage, and you only have 10 health. So the more you play, the more noise you make, and the more chances you're going to get attacked by the dragon. So it gets a little scary because you have to get down there, get the treasure, and get back up without dying. But I don't know, it's really fun.
Yeah, and there's those basic cards that you can purchase for deck building, like extra movement, extra attack, and then there's cool companions that you can take with you that will give you gold, because that's how you purchase cards from the market, which is how you get the keys and the backpack and all that other good stuff. And a whole bunch of different abilities on the companions, really. I feel like that's where it kind of shines a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you have like just all these different powers, and this is when the combos start kicking in from the armor sets and the companions that are helping you. And sometimes your turn can go for a little while because you're drawing extra cards past your hand limit, and all of a sudden you have enough skill points to get another card that'll do this other thing for you. And so it's pretty cool, like as deck builders go. It does all the little cool combos with your companions and stuff.
Yeah, I think the difference between this and some other deck builders, you have to play everything in your hand. So there are some cards that are powerful, but they make a lot of noise. Like movement is important in this game because you don't want to get stuck down in the dungeon. But there's some cards like Dead Run.
Yeah,
it gives you like 2 movement, like it lets you move pretty far, but you're adding like 2 Clank.
Yeah.
You start the game with some stumble cards, which add +1 Clank.
So you're going to be making noise, whether you want to or not.
Yeah, you're going to have to make noise. And it gets scary when the dragon attack happens. And then you're pulling from the bag, and people are like, oh, I only have 1 hit left. Don't kill me. And you can still die in this game and win. Because there's like 2 halves of the board. There's above ground and then like actually underground. And when you can only exit to the very... You exit where you start the game, at the very top of the board. But you can only exit when you have an artifact. You can't just like exit for no reason. So you have to go down to get something, and then you can try to leave and get points. But if you die by like a dragon attack, you take too much damage or anything, underground, you get no points. You're out of the game.
Bad.
If you die above ground, you can still win, because your points don't count. It's just that if you actually escaped all the way to the top of the board, you get an extra 20 points.
A mastery token.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of fun sometimes. It's just like, not just, okay, I know I can't make it out, but I need to make it above ground. Ground, so that I can actually score and try to win. So it's a little scary sometimes.
And those are the 2 endgame triggers. One, you said it was getting out. As soon as one person gets out, it triggers like 3 rounds of extra play to collect as much points as you can, or try to escape yourself. Or if a player dies, and it also has the same count for the end game.
Yeah,
it's just
like
either
4
someone
turns
gets
or
out,
something.
or someone dies.
Yeah.
And then the game's going to end soon after that.
Yeah. And like it really feels like the pressure that it's going to end, because like you say, either when a character dies or makes it out, there's like 3 or 4 turns left, and that person specifically doesn't have a turn anymore. But when it comes around to them, a dragon attack happens. So besides the regular dragon attack happening from card effects or other stuff, every round there's going to be another dragon attack, and it's boosted with how much damage it does.
Yeah.
Like how many cubes you're drawing from the bag. So it's like, you just feel the pressure, like as soon as the game trigger initiates, you just feel like, uh-oh, I'm gonna die. So yeah, I liked it. It's not just deck building. It actually gave you a board game with the deck building. Yeah. And there's a good amount of expansions if you like it. There's like
That's true. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's an underwater one. And the thing about it also is it comes with a double-sided board. And then with the expansion with the underwater, it also comes with a double-sided board, I think.
Yeah, they're all double-sided.
Yeah, and then there was a Egyptian one with a pyramid and stuff, and that's double-sided and has more stuff with like mummies instead of a dragon. Or with the dragon also? Or is it just...
I don't remember.
But either way, yeah, there's just a whole bunch of different combinations. Like, you don't need all of them to play.
Yeah, I think the underwater one's the only one that's you need a straight expansion that goes with the other set. The other ones are standalone. And you could mix them if you wanted, I think.
I feel like that'd be crazy, though.
Yeah, I feel like they're better on their own.
Yeah.
Just because they're already themed that way. For, like, in space was the other one, too, which we never tried the space
Yeah, we never tried Clank in space. But the thing that people, if they had a problem with Clank, that I've heard, at least, is it's possible to try to go underground, get the lowest scoring artifact, and just escape and trigger the endgame. And I guess some people would be like, oh, I never had a chance to actually build my deck because you just ended the game too fast. And that's never happened for us. I think you tried it once.
I tried it once.
But you got such a low score from doing that.
Yeah, and everyone still, even with those extra turns, they had enough to just gain points even from cards. And I was like, yeah, it doesn't seem like, at least for me, it doesn't seem worth it to try to rush the game that way.
But that could be something that people do, which people don't like. So, we haven't tried Clank in space, but I guess that fixes that problem, if you want to call it a problem, where I guess in that game you actually have to get to a certain point. Everybody has to get to a certain point, checkpoints, and then they're allowed to leave. So you can't just go like, oh, got something out of here. So, yeah. But I don't know.
To try it.
I know some people like the space sci-fi better, but I think I like this one better as a dragon and fantasy and doing all the dungeon stuff. Yeah. But yeah. Who won this one? Was it me? Yeah. But yeah, anyways, if you like deck building, if you like semi like dungeon crawling, it's not really a dungeon crawler, but
it feels a little bit
like if you like those type of things, it's not that hard of a game, but it's pretty fun. Yeah, check it out. It's Clank. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. I guess we'll see you all next time.
Bye.